Hello everyone! Today, we're reading Chapter 2 of Mr. Lu Simeon's A General History of China, which focuses on the formation of the Chinese nation. In this chapter, Lu introduces how the Chinese people with the Han ethnic group, as the core gradually took shape and merged with many other ethnic minorities throughout history. Ethnicity and race are not the same. Race refers to physical traits, like skin color and bone structure, things that are immediately visible. Yet over time, even these distinctions can blend. Ethnicity, by contrast, involves language, belief, and customs. Though less tangible, it exerts powerful influence. Groups that are alike but divided will seek unity, while groups that are different, if forced together, will seek separation. Therefore, the formation of a great ethnic group is no easy task, and the scale and strength of an ethnic identity can determine a nation's rise or decline. An ethnic makeup that is too complex may lead to instability, while one that is overly homogeneous risks stagnation. China, in its long history, has absorbed and fused with many other peoples. Through constant contact with foreign tribes, we have sharpened ourselves learning from others and compensating for our shortcomings. Though China's civilization emerged early, it has remained dynamic through renewal. Our native culture, being exceptionally advanced, exerted strong assimilative power. Despite many changes across centuries, our cultural essence remained intact. Over a long historical span, we forged a resilient national character and became a great nation. The origins, development, interaction, and gradual assimilation of different ethnic groups will be discussed in more detail later. For now, Lu offers a broad overview. So, what exactly is the difference between race and ethnicity? The two concepts overlap. Race generally refers to inherited traits like skin tone, eyes, hair, nose, mouth, and has a strong link to genetics. Ethnicity, however, is defined by language, customs, beliefs, shared history, and culture. Ethnic groups are historically developed, stable communities that arise from the gradual fusion of related clans living in the same region, shaped by social progress, economic development, and cultural integration. China is a multi-ethnic nation. Officially, there are 56 recognized ethnic groups: own major group, the Han, and 55 minority groups. There's a popular saying, 56 nationalities, 56 blossoms. According to the latest national census, the top 10 groups by population are the Han, Zhuang, Hui, Manchu, Uyghur, Miao, Yi, Tujia, Tibetan, and Mongol. The Han population was around 1.22 billion. The Zhuang ranked second with 16.93 million. Hui had 10.59 million, Manchu 10.39 million, Uyghur 10.07 million, Miao 9.43 million, Yi 8.71 million, Tujia 8.35 million, Tibetan 6.28 million, and Mongol 5.98 million. Lu also touches on the topic of race. Traditionally, races were grouped into three main categories: Caucasoid, white, Mongoloid, yellow, and Negroid, black. In modern anthropology, a fourth group, Australoid, brown, has been added. The white race includes Caucasians and Europeans. The yellow race refers mainly to East Asians, or Mongolic peoples. The black race refers to sub-Saharan Africans, Negroid. And the brown race typically refers to indigenous peoples of Australia and Oceania. Geographically, whites were mostly in Europe and North America, yellows in Asia, blacks in Africa, and browns in Oceania. However, due to colonization, slave trade, and global migration, today's racial distribution is complex and intermingled. For instance, Argentina's population is about 95% white, mainly of Spanish, Italian, and German descent. India includes Indo-Aryans and Dravidian peoples, showing both indigenous and migratory racial roots. The term mutual sharpening is also worth explaining. In Chinese, Treitli refers to both hardening through tempering and honing through friction. It symbolizes how cultures improve through interaction, learning strengths from each other. Historically, the founders of Chinese civilization were the Han, but where exactly the Han originated before settling in what is now China is still unclear. After entering China, the Han expanded gradually from the Yellow River region to the Yangtze River, and then south to the Pearl River Basin. The ancient state of Sanmiao, ruled by the Jiang family, presided over the Zhuli tribes. It likely marked the earliest Han expansion into the Yangtze River region. By the spring and autumn period, the Chu state further expanded and evolved. Along the coastal regions lived tattooed peoples referred to as the Yue. The ancestors of Wu and Yu states mingled with these tribes. Later, during the Qin dynasty, counties were established in Guangdong, Guangxi, and Fujian lands, previously inhabited by these coastal peoples. In the southwest, there were the Pu tribes. In the northwest, the Di and Qiang. Southwest expansion began under the Chu state during the Warring States and was completed under the Han, who conquered the southwestern barbarians. Northwest development was mainly due to Qin. During the Warring States, Qin subdued the Chang and Rong and expanded south to Ba and Shu, modern-day Sichuan. Thus, Gansu and Sichuan were largely developed. Lu emphasizes the spatial and temporal sequence of ethnic development. The Han first occupied the Yellow River Basin, especially its middle and lower reaches, including eastern Gansu, central Shaanxi, southern Shanxi, northern Henan, and western Shandong. This area, the birthplace of Huaxia civilization, saw cultures like Yangshao and Longshan during the Neolithic period, and later became the core region of the Xia, Shang, and Zhou dynasties. Following this, the Han expanded to the Yangtze and later the Pearl River basins. The Yangtze is one of China's oldest cultural regions, while the Pearl River Basin refers to modern-day Guangdong and its surrounding areas, fed by rivers like the Xi, Bei, and Dong. These three rivers merge near Guangzhou and flow into the South China Sea. Interestingly, China's major culinary traditions also align with these river basins. Among the four great cuisines Lu, Shandong, Chuan, Sichuan, Yue, Cantonese, and Huaiyanglu cuisine corresponds to the Yellow River Basin, influencing Henan, Beijing, and the northeast. Chuan represents the upper Yangtze, Huaiyang the lower Yangtze, and Yue the Pearl River. Later, four more cuisines were added: Xiang, Hunan, Zhe, Zhejiang, Hui, Anhui, and Min, Fujian. Of these, 5 originate from the Yangtze Basin, 2 from the Pearl, and only 1 from the Yellow River. As the saying goes, local water and soil nourish local people. Lu then outlines how China's territory and ethnic composition expanded. First, the Han settled in the Yellow River Basin. Then, the Chu state took over areas around Hubei and Hunan, formerly Sanmiao territory. Next, the Wu and Yue states claimed the southeastern coast, modern Jiangsu and Zhejiang. The Qin dynasty conquered the northwest, including Di and Chang tribes. Qin expanded further, establishing control over Guangxi, Guangdong, and Fujian, contributing greatly to China's territorial shape. Finally, the southwest was secured under the Han. Even within the Yellow River Basin, the Han coexisted with tribes like the Shanrong and Xianyun. The Xianyun, later known as the Hu, were ancestors of the Xiongnu. The Shanrong were likely ancestors of the Donghu. By the Warring States period, regions like modern-day Rihei, Chahar, and Suiyuan were opened. Outside the Great Wall, the Xiongnu dominated the west, the Donghu the east. After being defeated by the Xiongnu, the Donghu split into the Wuhuan and Xianbei. In the Han dynasty, many tribes Hu, Ji, Xianbei, Di, entered China. At first, they couldn't be fully assimilated, which led to the infamous Five Hu uprising, culminating in a period of chaos. It wasn't until the northern and southern dynasties that these groups faded from distinction. After the Sui and Tang dynasties, the Turks emerged in the north, the Hui, now known as Uyghurs, in the west, and in the southwest, the Tubo, Tibetan. In the northeast, the Manchus arose. The Jin, Yuan, and Qing dynasties were all established by Manchu-related peoples. The Mongol plateau, once dominated by the Huihe, became the base of the Mongols, while the Huihe migrated to what is now Xinjiang. In the southwest, the Miao, Yue, and Pu tribes saw their territories gradually incorporated into the empire. Lu's main point here is the formation and fusion of ethnic minorities. Of course, some of his assertions written nearly 90 years ago may differ from modern scholarship. We present his views first, and note where contemporary understanding may diverge. He identifies the Shanrong as ancestors of the Donghu, and the Shanyun as precursors to the Shanyu. He also mentions the 5Hu Uprisinga chaotic period, when non-Han tribes seized northern China after the fall of the Western Jin, leading to several non-Han dynasties. These 5 were the Xiongnu, Shanbei, Ji, Di, and Qiang. Of these, the Qiang still exist today, with over 300, 0 members mainly in Sichuan. They're one of the oldest documented minority groups already recorded in Shang dynasty oracle bones. Lu also mentions the provinces of Ruihei, Chaha, and Suiyuannonce frontier provinces of the Republic of China. Ruihei's capital was Chengde, Chaha's, Zhangjiakou, Suiyuan's, Hohhot, and Ningxia's, Yinchuan. After the founding of the PRC, these provinces were restructured. Ruihei merged into Hebei, Chaha into Shanxi and Hebei, and Suiyuan into Inner Mongolia. Lastly, Lu comments on the Uyghurs, once called Huihei and Huihu, in the Tang and Northern Wei dynasties. In the Qing and Republican eras, the term Hui referred to the Uyghurs, not the Hui ethnic group recognized today. In conclusion, Lu writes, "The foundation of China was built around the Han people through political power to rule and cultural strength to transform. Even when conquered by others, the superiority of Chinese culture often led conquerors to adopt Han customs and governance. Over time, they were assimilated. Today's Manchu, Mongol, Hui, Tibetan, and Southwestern minorities may not be fully assimilated, but coexist peacefully with Han society. Politically and socially, Mandarin Chinese is the most widely used language. Religiously, Buddhism is prevalent among Mongols and Tibetans, Islam among the Hui, and local faiths among other groups. The Han hold Confucianism in highest regard, a system centered on ethical living and governance, not superstition. That's why, despite the coexistence of many religions in China, we've rarely seen religious conflict. The ability of China's ethnic groups to unite that is no accident." Lu's final remarks are especially powerful. He emphasizes that the Chinese language and written script act as a unifying force across ethnic lines. In the era of the Republic of China, this idea was symbolized by the 5 races under one union, flag 5 colors representing 5 ethnic groups: red for Han, yellow for Manchu, blue for Mongol, white for Hui, and black for Tibetan. Lu believed that China's millennia-old civilization is one of the most inclusive in the world, capable of unity without uniformity and harmony without erasure. And that's where we'll stop for today. Thanks for listening.